Hey guys, how's it going? I'm on the quest to try to generate and make rust. As you can see, this is the patch panel I put in on this old VW bus, and I want to get it to blend in and start looking like the rust that's on the rest of it. So I did some homework online. Someone had written beer and salt, mixed them together and put it on them. I did do that, but this is after about 2 days. And you can kind of see we're starting to make some streaky rust going down, but it's just taking too long, you know. So I want to see if I can speed that process up, and we're gonna go try something else. So without further ado, here's the process that we're gonna go for. This is the beer and salt mix, and I did use a German beer, but it didn't seem to work. So the next one is basically the hydrogen peroxide is what will make it kick fairly fast, and a couple of them used a combination of 3 things, being distilled white vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, and regular table salt. So in this right here I have there's probably about a tablespoon of salt in here, I'll say about 1.5 inches of water, about 1 inch of vinegar, and then the remaining was the hydrogen peroxide. Whether the right amounts or not, I don't know. We're gonna go find out. If it doesn't work, we're just gonna go with the straight hydrogen peroxide. But first we're gonna take some vinegar and a paper towel, and we're just gonna wipe that area down and try to like clean it off a little bit. Vinegar is a bit of a acidic, so that's kind of what it should do. Let's see what happens. Check the little spot there. So I figure I'll try it on this. If it works in this area, I'll use it in all the parts that I've done the repairs on. Again, right now, this is just straight vinegar. Smells like I'm dyeing Easter eggs. That did seem to clean it off pretty good. Let me grab a paper towel or a regular towel. I'll wipe that off. Bunch of lint is on it. Let me stick my hat in front of you. Sorry. All right. I don't think I need to pour it on, so I'm going to put some again on a paper towel. And I'll kind of dab it on. So I'll give it a little. Not you much. I already see stuff happening. It's already turning the paper too. I was kind of waiting for like a poof. What if the hydrogen peroxide will work better just by itself? It seems like what I'll do is I'll wet it a little bit, see if that helps. Yeah, there it goes. I'll stick the paper towel underneath the cloth underneath it, catch all the dribbles, and we'll just soak it. Don't want to get any rust on my rusty parts. There we go. I think the only problem is going to be it's going to be a lighter color rust than the rest of it. The other stuff, when it's really aged, gets that really dark color to it. I'll say heat kind of helps too. We go grab a heat gun. We'll go put a heat gun on it, see if that helps it. I really like to get it like that, you know. Not bad. I think I'm going to try some, let's go for straight hydrogen peroxide. I think the salt is kind of like an over time thing, not an immediate. More heat. Doesn't seem much different, does it? Go big or go home. Let's see what that does. So why don't we let that soak for a little bit, and we'll look at something else. We'll come back to it. So I spent a little bit of yesterday putting together. So I did plop the motor back in, which is nice, and it's got its seal on there. You can see the way this works is you got a boot that goes all the way around, and it seals the engine compartment from taking any air from down below the engine, because that's where all the heat is, and you don't want that hot air coming in. So basically sucks air in from two places for the engine. The fan is the cooling air. It gets sucked in through the top of the tin and blows down across the cylinders and exits out the bottom, and that draws that air in through the sides. I don't know if you can see it, but look right over here, see the vent there. It sucks the cool in from there and deposits the exhaust air actually out the, this is going to be the back of the motor, underneath and out the back, and as you're driving it also helps pull it away, and then your intake is of course right there. So went pretty well. I'm in the process of starting to mount and locate different components, one being that air cleaner setup. Some of them have a rubber boot that goes in between, and you would fix the air cleaner to the body, and then if the motor moved a little bit, the boot took up the play. This one is totally fixed, so I have to come back to the motor somewhere and grab support off of that, whether that's going to be back more by the tin or right where it was, and maybe come off of I don't know, maybe a bolt off the alternator stand, make a bracket coming up to help support it. I'm not sure yet. Should actually look and see what the factory setup was. Or I could switch it over to a rubber one and just hang it from down from the frame from up above. Gotta find a place for the voltage regulator. The old style would have had it mounted on top of the generator on a 6 volt. This is a 12 volt. So I'm thinking I'm probably just gonna go right up here somewhere and run out some new wires for that. I think my 67, they screwed it into the wheel well, but I don't want to punch any more holes in the wheel well, especially if that's where, well, your crud on the other side is flapping around, so I don't want to make a spot where it can try and rust through. And then I started looking at this exhaust system. Again, this is a Beetle motor with a Beetle exhaust, and they have twin tailpipes coming out of them. On a bus, it just runs one tailpipe out of this side, and it kind of kicks off to the side, and that's how they run it. So the rear tin that goes in there is this guy, and as you can see, it's got a cutout for one pipe and nothing on the other side. So my thought is I wanted to give this motor a little bit more throat anyway, so there's this header muffler combo, again off of a Beetle, and my only concern is where this pipe is going to go come. I measured it back, it's pretty close to where that tin is going to sit, you know, so it may or may not be able to fit on there. The muffler I can cut right off and relocate that to however I want. I could probably just turn it sideways and have it sit up under this this side of the quarter panel. Get close to running though. And here's the two styles of the air cleaner. Here's the one that has the rubber boot on it I was talking about, but these are all shot. And whether or not that would have been the correct setup, I'm not sure. Again, here's another steel elbow. I have a feeling it would have went like that. I don't know if that one was on there, or if that one's part of that, I'm not sure. And that would attach to that air cleaner. And Santa borrowed us a lot of presents. I'll plop it down. Last piece I was waiting for, I got a sending unit for the gas tank, and I want to get that in before I put the tank in. This does not have, this never came with a sending unit and a gauge on the dash, but I'm going to convert it over. What it normally had was a cable underneath and a petcock that, kind of like a motorcycle, would have a reserve, so when you ran out you flipped it over and it had a gallon or two left over. but we're going to go with a gauge setup. So that big pile of rubber is all the seals and rubber and door and gaskets for both front doors. I got myself 2 taillight setups, all the pieces for the taillights. These have plastic lenses on them, but somewhere I do have a set of glass lenses, so I can put the glass ones in and just convert them over. My sockets and everything were really beat on what I had before, so I decided just to get 2 new ones. Lights are fairly important, especially on something no one can see very well as it is. It's just a bunch of miscellaneous. What do we got in here? We got wiper seals. There's a filter that goes up inside the gas tank. This setup right here, I gotta put you down again. I was open both bags, but I got you put down, right? Alright. So, parts that we have. These are seals for the wiper. This is a new wiper pivot. I thought I ordered 2. I ordered 1. Whoops. I might be able to make one of my other ones work fine. And then for the gas tank, again, this is a filter that goes up inside the tank. You got another one outside of it, but this is for a Beetle. This is the normal Petcock setup on a Beetle. On the bus, as I said, it would have a larger setup that came down with a valve on it. Looks something like that. So that went up in the tank. So instead, this is going to go. Come on. That's going to go up in the tank like that. I think the nut's probably going to be the same. And that filter will sit over the top of that. And there's the gasket for it. Gas pedal. This is all the linkage hardware. This is the pivot for it. This is the bracket that welds to the floor. And last but not least, this is the gas pedal itself. So that would go in through there after it's welded with the linkage, and then that's the pin that goes in the center that holds it all together. All that stuff was really cheap. The pedal was like $9. The kit was like $9. This was like $4. This was like $1.50. So for 15 bucks, 18 bucks, it covered everything that was on it, and just made the pedal new. Got 2 new wiper blades on a VW. They're kind of they look more like a squeegee than anything. This is a little pedal pad. It's just a basically piece of foam with a hole in the center of it. This goes over either your brake or your clutch pedal hole in the floor, and it keeps air from flowing through. So we got this is the rear window seal, and this should be the treasure chest seal. And 2 gas tank hold down straps. And these guys right here are the rubbers that go on the sides of the treasure chest doors, and they stop the doors from banging into the lower section. And another thing that they do is, like I said before, that's your air intake down there. So if you look down here where your louvers are, this gap needs to be maintained. So they actually space them out with those rubber stops that you can kind of see them down there. But they're all beat up, so I'll put new ones on there. And I'll keep the gate away. So that's my little shopping list. It gives me plenty of things that I can put back together now. Let's go see how our rust is doing, huh? Not bad. Not bad for 15 minutes. It's looking pretty good. It's already getting pretty close to this color, you know. But I like to get a little darker. I like to get it more like what this is, but we'll see what happens over time. So it's up in the air whether the salt and the vinegar did anything. It seems like the hydrogen peroxide pretty much did all the stuff by itself. So, but it was cheap. All that stuff together was like $3. Yeah, the salt was 44 cents. I think the hydrogen peroxide was $1, and like $1.49 for the vinegar. So it's a cheap test. If not, I'm going to make a salty sweet salad. Yummy. Smells like beer. Smells like stale beer. Yeah. That's what I was painting on there, but it didn't seem like it was doing very much. So. Alright guys, well I just wanted to share that with you, and again, if that seems to work out fine, I'm going to do the same thing on these, and I'm just going to try to make these match this part of it, and then after it turns its color that it's supposed to be, then I'll seal it all in with the wax and keep with that look. Might even do the decking too, same way. So, alright guys, again, thanks for watching, comment, subscribing, take care, bye.